Well, meantime, Roanoke College swimmers receiving a win from the Virginia Attorney General's office. Our next guest led the investigation that determined Roanoke College discriminated against female swimmers when the school allowed a transgender athlete to join their team during the 2023 season. Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares joins me now. Mr. Attorney General, thank you for coming on. I mean, Roanoke College denies violating students' rights or retaliating against students, but clearly they were prioritizing just one athlete here.
Well, I mean, what we found was that the male swimmer who was on the men's swim team suddenly announced he was decided to identify as a female. He wanted to, quote unquote, transition. The female swim team unanimously recommended no. They did not want him to join. They were worried about the impact it would have on their competition. Sure enough, he joins the team. They find he immediately starts dominating in the swim team, and then also was given preferential treatment. He was allowed to skip a variety of different practices that they were not allowed to. And then these students, once they voiced their complaints, felt systematically ignored by the administration, by their coaches. And then they felt, not only were they bullied on campus, several of these students did not feel safe walking on campus by themselves. But when they tried to do what is a very well-known active study abroad program at Roanoke College, some of these students, female swimmers at a 4.0 GPA, were suddenly denied just days, weeks after they had publicly expressed their concerns. So these are incredibly brave women that came to the Office of the Attorney General here in Virginia that asked for us to investigate, and we did indeed find that Roanoke College has violated both Title IX, which is federal civil rights law protecting women, and also the Virginia Human Rights Act, which is our principal civil rights law here in Virginia. But I think this is an example of a college that has failed their swim team students, failed these women, and it's Exhibit A of people that are so open-minded their brain falls out. The fact we actually think that this is somehow good for women, it's not. It hurts women, and we want to stand up for our female swimmers there at Roanoke College.
Sure. I want to put this sound up. I can. This is the former Roanoke team captain is Lily Mullins. Her mom is Kate Mullins, and she said the following here, and I'll get your opinion. Watch.
Instead of focusing on training in their studies, they would be entering into a battle against their own school, against the NCAA for their basic rights to compete fairly against other female swimmers and to speak freely in defense of their own fair treatment. My teammates and I faced anxiety, sleepless nights, and a sense of defeat and abandonment.
I mean, she was kind of reiterating what you were saying there about the treatment of these. I wonder if you think, I think you probably do believe that some of these female athletes are actually eligible for some financial damages here.
Well, it's ongoing. I'm not going to speak to that specifically, but to the larger point, if you think about what was the purpose of Title IX, the purpose of Title IX was that level the playing field with men and women's sports. Prior to that, you had so many more scholarships available to male athletes than female athletes. Anytime you have a biological male, in this case, who was a male swimmer on the male swim team that suddenly decided to identify as a female, you are taking away a slot, you're taking away your scholarship, you're taking away an opportunity for a female athlete that has worked so hard in the swimming pool, the hours they spend in the gym and training, in addition to being able to maintain their grades in the classroom. That's the whole purpose of Title IX, is to make sure an equal playing field. Biological boys taking away those opportunities, it's a clear violation. It's wrong. It needs to end. And we really do think Roanoke College is potentially a test case for the entire country and these schools that are denying these opportunities to their female athletes.
Because it's happening across the country. It's happening here in California, Attorney General. You have people, some of these high school volleyball players are fighting the very same thing in Southern California and having to forfeit these games because they don't want to play against a biological male. So you can see, that these are 80-20 issues, but California is embedded in the wrong side of this.
Well, no question, and I have such compassion for these female athletes, many of which did not want their names to be in the report that was released because of so much retaliation. It's an 80-20 issue, but on our college campus, there's such a sense of intimidation. The great irony is so many on the left, they preach intolerance, but only preach tolerance if you think and agree exactly the way they view the world. And these young female athletes, what they've gone through, talking to them, talking to their parents, it is unimaginable what these young women have done just by speaking out and having common sense. This would not have even been a debate 10 or 15 years ago, but it just shows you just how far to the left and on a lot of these college campuses have pushed this really extreme left-wing agenda on so many of these young female athletes. And as one of them told me, she's like, I'm not even political. I don't really pay attention. This isn't a political debate. This is not right or left. This is about right or wrong. It's about standing with our female athletes and making sure they have that opportunity. It's shameful that so many of these colleges are failing them and choosing intimidation instead of doing the right thing on their behalf.
We talk to these athletes all the time. They are not political. They are doing this out of fairness and to support future athletes that are playing at their institutions. Attorney General, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it. Sandra.
Great to be with you.